Hey boyos, daily check-in with John V, August 27th, 2024. Um, yeah, I didn't record my diet yesterday on here, which is fine. It's no big deal, right? I'm still dieting correctly, around 2,000 calories a day, right? I just missed a day. Um, but I did diet correctly yesterday as usual. I haven't lifted in a while, like 6 days. It's not a big deal, right? I was gonna do it tonight, but I was gone all day, so I may not. I wanna, when I get back into it, commit to it for at least a matter of weeks. So I might wait till tomorrow to do it. So don't give me shit for skipping lifts. It's not a big deal. I'm on the diet. The diet's the most important thing, right? So, um, I don't know if any of you boyos live in the Halifax area in Nova Scotia, but I'm planning on moving back to Halifax next year, get my own apartment and all that stuff, and I'm trying to organize booster drafts for Magic, like held out of my own place, like my own apartment. And I'm on a Facebook group, and I posted it there, and I did have a couple replies, just two, of people that were interested, right? Um, Obviously, I'm gonna want more players than that, like five at least, not counting myself. So six in total, counting myself at least, to make it worthwhile, right? But I already have the plans for it. Next year I'll move to Halifax, try to establish who some Magic players are, and get us all together and play a draft, right? And I already found where I'll buy the booster boxes off the internet, off Amazon, and charge the same rate as the game store does for entry to the draft, right? And I can actually make a little bit of money doing that because a booster box, it costs a little bit less. It's like $8 per pack total, almost exactly $8, and the game store charges like $9 per pack. So I will essentially be making a little bit of money, and so I'm thinking if I can get six players, and that's four packs per player, $36, right? That's essentially $4 I'm making off every player for my time, whatever. So six players, and not including myself, that's actually, $20 extra. So I could make a little money holding booster drafts, but it equals out in the end because um, that's like $20 for a 4 hour event, right? It's not much, right? So, but if I can get at least five other players together with me, then we're talking. But there was a couple that seemed interested in the Facebook group, but it says the post has been seen by like a little over 40 of the members, and there's 160 members in the group. So I'm counting on like 8 to 10 members being interested and actually reply to my post, right? And I'm not going to be creepy about it or anything when I move to the city. I will literally send each one of these people um, a picture of myself so they know what I look like. Hopefully that doesn't scare them off, right? But I'd be like, hey, I'm John. This is me. This is where I live. What's your phone number? You know, this is how much you have to pay to enter, blah, blah, blah. Um, all the good stuff, right? I'm not new to this. I have held a booster draft before once, and it was a good time. It was decent, and that was a long time ago. Kind of, it was kind of ratty because it was my first time doing it. I wasn't really into it, but like I was into Magic, I was just wasn't. It was just something I kind of did on the spur of the moment, right? Because my cousin was living with me, and he had a whole bunch of his friends over, like six friends, right? And there was like eight of us, and I was like, well, I could hold a Magic boost. I could hold a Magic draft here, and he's like, yeah, I'll ask my all my friends to see if they want to, and they all wanted to, and they all paid the entry fee, So it was a good time we had. Um, so, but this is different because moving back to Halifax, I don't really have any Magic friends. But obviously, if I start hitting up the local game stores, and there's a few of them that play Magic events. I'll be sure to ask every one of the competitors in a draft when I go to them at these game stores. Would you be interested in me holding a draft? Because I hold drafts at my apartment. Whenever, like once a month, whatever. Would you be interested in that? And I offer a little bit better pricing than what the game store offers, right? Because I get the booster packs a little bit cheaper than the game store, and I'm sure I could reel a lot of players in and they'd be interested, right? And just be like, oh no, can I grab your number so I can, fill you on the details when we have the next draft, kind of shit like that. So, you know, I'm trying to establish connections and make plans for when I do go back to the city next year. So I don't want to just rot in my apartment and just literally just sit on my computer all day and all night and sleep and eat and that's it. I want to do things. I want to actually participate in some events, hold some events. It gives me experience, right, with like leadership and stuff like that, right? But like I said before, I have held a Magic booster draft before, and it was a good time. It was decent, and I think I had won first place at my own event. Some of the players had a problem with it. They're like, "Well, I got a problem with you. If you're holding the event, you shouldn't be playing, or you shouldn't be able to get prizes." And like, how does that make sense? Every game store I have played at, um, some of the game store owners would play in the draft. So, and game store owners are usually a decent Magic player, right? So it doesn't make sense, right? Because I'm the one who paid for the card, so it's my choice. So, but yeah, those are some of my plans. But as far as the lifting goes, like I haven't lifted I haven't lifted in 5 days. If I skip tonight, it'll be six. That's not a big deal, right? With losing weight, I'm not gonna make any strength gains realistically. So it kind of demotivates me because I don't want to just go through the motions and just lift the same amount of weight that I'm always going to be lifting until I finish my weight loss, right? Um, Once I'm actually down to my goal weight and looking decent, I'll want to work out, at least a bit just to maintain my body shape and muscularity and vascularity and all that stuff. But right now, it's just kind of a pain in the ass lifting like 4 or 5 sessions a week because I'm not going to make any headway. I'm not going to make progress, right? So, but I may still lift tonight. I was planning to lift at midnight and it's 10:30 now. I was going to take pre-workout at 11 and then plan to lift at 12. But I may skip tonight because I was gone all day and I went on a pretty long distance trip with my mom and bought a whole bunch of pork steaks. They were really good price and a few other things like a few cans of turkey and a couple boxes of bear claws. I only bought the bear claws because they were really cheap and they were fruits and veggies in them. So, it gives me a little something to snack on once in a while as a little extra treat. Um, because eating just steak and vegetables every day, all day, and protein powder, that gets kind of boring, right? So I got to have a little something extra. I'm not going to go out and buy $20 worth of potato chips or pop or something like that. Fuck that. Buy some bear paws. Just they're like 110 or 130 calories each one, and they have 3 grams of fiber each one, and a bunch of vitamins. So it's like at least it's somewhat productive for my health, right? Not just a bunch of potato chips or chocolate or candy or pop. But yeah, not much new going on in the life of John V. Like I was saying before, I do have a few orders for Team U coming in. A few orders. Um, they're fairly substantial. They're like $250 in total for all three. So that'll be cool to do an opening of those. And then Piping Rock, which is a website. I have a bunch of broccoli powder coming and vitamins and supplements and stuff, like just pill form or gummy form, and they were all really cheap, like $2, $3, $4 for a bottle. So I was like, well, fuck this, I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of this stuff, and I did. I just felt the urge to blow my welfare check, right? Because I haven't really had to really buy groceries much this month because I have so much food accumulated, and now that I hit up like the stores that was like 100 miles away for all the cheap pork steaks. Like I'm kind of set for food again, right? I have like over 20 pork steaks sitting in my freezer and fridge. So that sets me for part of one meal. And I have a whole bunch of canned vegetables, so that sets me for vegetables. And I still have lots of protein powder, so I'm set for protein powder. And aside from superfood, green powder, protein powder, steak, canned vegetables, and the occasional other thing, I'm set. Like I might have enough to last me almost the entire month next month, which is great. So I just blew my money that I had in my account, you know. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to move back to Halifax next year. That's my plan next summer. Move back to Halifax, and by then I'll be really lean and looks maxed. And I plan on moving back to Halifax once I've hit up the local competitions for arm wrestling. And as far as arm wrestling goes, this Sunday coming, I do intend on going to practice. So, and then next week, Thursday, I plan on going to the LGS to play Magic again. But yeah, not much else to say besides that. I kind of sound like a broken record, repeating myself from what I've said in other videos. So I'll just cut it off there, boyos, and I'll see you on the MISC.